finally got my hands on one. Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof Rye, 136.7. How will it taste? Stay tuned and find out. Welcome back. Like I said before, we got the Single Barrel Proof Jack Daniel's Rye 2023 136.7. This was very hard to get. I know the MSRP on these is about $60-ish, but in Michigan, I'll be honest with you, you couldn't sniff one of these within 100 miles. I haven't looked as far as Illinois. Nobody had them. So I don't know if they're just going to start kind of pushing them out there when they can, or you got to go to, like I do, unicorn auctions or seal box and hope to snag one literally double MSRP. Now, I have sitting over here a 2020, the special edition rye that I absolutely love. But this one here, I was like, you know what? I really like their barrel proof products. I love the bourbon, whiskey, but I figured, why not? If I'm going to snag one, I'm going to do it for the channel because I love ryes in general, but I also love the barrel proof ryes. I mean, you are just getting a unique product, especially for damn near hazmat at 136.7. So let's get into the age. Unfortunately, it's a non-age stated, but it has to be 4 years by TTB regulation. So my guess is kind of going off of the 2020. This is between 6 to 8 years be in there. It's 70% rye, 18% corn, and 12% malted barley. Like I said, MSRP is supposed to be $60-ish, but I paid definitely double for that on the unicorn auctions. We talked about the bottle. We talked about the history. What's the juice like inside? God knows at almost 137, it's probably going to be hot. So let's get into our nose. Ooh, that smells really good. This is a fresh, right off the rip neck pour. It's been sitting out for about 25 minutes. But I'm telling you what, it's definitely got a black pepper, that rye spice note. It opens your nasal passages really big. Has a burnt, like you ever had a oak stave that's kind of gotten a barrel char and you kind of smell that burnt oak? That's what that reminds me of. All right, got it into the nose. Cross your fingers. Let's get into that first taste. Oh, geez, that's good. Now, I've seen some other reviews on this. Ooh. Oh, that just hits the front palate, mid palate, back palate, and coats the whole entire mouth. I've seen some reviews on this, but I've seen anything that's below, honestly, 134 to 128. It kind of fell flat for them. This is, ooh, gosh, that's really good. You got a baking spice. You definitely get the heat. It's like a black pepper, but it's like a cracked black pepper in the mid palate. You get the rye spices, but it's still tingling on the tongue. Almost like a cinnamon pop rocks. Being a Gen Xer, that reminds me of the cinnamon pop rocks. There's a little bit of butterscotch note, caramel, but that heat really persists. It's not a overpowering heat. It's just soft and subtle. No Kentucky hug. I mean, literally almost no Kentucky hug. Everything's kind of focused right here. Nothing hitting down here. But damn, that's really good. Let's go in for a second taste. Oh, yeah, you really get that richness, that caramel. You get the oaky note. Banana. It's like a banana bread that's cooked just a hair too long. Anybody's done banana bread, you know what I'm talking about. When you get it when it comes out right at the right time you're supposed to do it. It's nice and moist, has a great taste. This is just a little too long, where the banana bread is kind of cooked a little harder. That's what this reminds me of. But I'll be honest with you. This came out in, when was this done? It was bottled in 4/19/23, so roughly it's almost 4th of July, so you're looking at, give or take, 3 months. But, man, this is good. That 136.7 proof, you don't get that proofy hotness. It's a little hot. The first taste, of course, being a neck pour, but you don't get that hazmat type of feel. Like I've got a couple that are in the almost 140s that when you take a sip of it, you know what you're drinking. But this, the finish is still there, right in the mid palate. I'm very happy. Yes, I had to pay double MSRP, so you're looking at $130, but you know what? This is worth it. Now, I have the 2020 special release. This is one of my favorite. As you can tell, I'm kind of nursing it still. So, I got glass sitting here, my Bourbon Junkies Pours in the Park from last year. Hopefully, if any of you watch this and you're from Michigan, I'm going to try to make it. That's my birthday weekend. But I'm going to really try like hell to make it because I had an absolute blast last year. Worth every dime. Seeing everybody on the YouTubers, it was so nice to actually put people, the faces and names, and everybody was really kind and generous and nice. So if you're going to the 2023 Pours in the Park, I hope to see you there. Let's get into the taste for the 2020 special edition. Oh, geez, man. No offense. This is a completely different beast than this. Ooh, wow, that spice is there. But it's rich and thick. Definitely viscous and coating. It tastes. Wow, that's. Now I can see why I've slow rolled this for almost 3 years. I got this, believe it or not. I randomly called a place that I knew in California. And I said, can you take a picture of the bottles you have currently on your shelf? They said, sure. They sent it over on the phone, looked at it. They had this, some old Elijah Craig barrel proofs, I think 17 and 18, the B series, B517, B518, and this. And I said, what do you want for all 3 bottles? And they said, 100, 100, 120. Done. Didn't even hesitate. Sent them over a label, sent them over the money. This came. I took a sip of it, and I've given this out to several friends that absolutely love rice. Man, that finish is still going. And they were bowled over on how absolutely decadent this was. Now, this is 133, if I'm not mistaken, 133.2. So roughly between the two, there's roughly a 3% difference. But if you can find any of these, honestly, over like 130 to 1... If you can find them in the 140, God love you. Pick it up. But if you can find it, like say in the mid 130s, grab one. If you can get it for MSRP, grab 2. You're not going to go wrong with this. I'm your host, Brian. This is the Average Whiskey Drinker channel. Like I always say, find a bottle, open the bottle, enjoy the bottle, because good whiskey and ryes are always meant to be shared. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk with you all soon.